wouldn't have... Can you imagine? They wouldn't even allow me to talk to anybody, really. They were very... Please keep it hush-hush.
Suki Johal shows me photos of her recent visit to Pakistan.
She actually helped us, assisted us.
It was no ordinary holiday. Her kidneys were failing. She was on a mission to find a kidney donor and save her life.
So here I am with some of the other patients that have had kidney transplants. So this young lady...
At 46, she'd all but given up hope. Doctors in the United States told her she'd have a 10-year wait to get a kidney, and dialysis wasn't working.
I kept getting catheter infections, blood infections, sepsis I got a couple of times. So I was in and out of hospital, almost 19 times I went into hospital.
Then a family friend told her of a hospital in Pakistan where she could buy a kidney. She went for it.
Everything was arranged for us. We paid up front, we wired the money through to the hospital.
When she got to Pakistan last December, she found the condition of the hospital shocking. She says she was told, "Tell no one what you are here for." She kept a photo diary as she waited 3 weeks in a hospital guest house until the hospital found a donor.
I got very emotional at that point. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. And, sorry. And then I was very emotional because I was really shocked that, wow, this is it for me. And I'm going to maybe get my life back here.
About to get her life back, but also, unwittingly, she says, about to break Pakistani law that forbids the sale of kidneys to transplant tourists like her.
I know it's a very controversial subject, as I said. I suppose what you have to think when you are judging me is, you know, if it was a matter of life and death for you, you know, would you also do the same thing? And I think the majority of people would say yes, they would.
But it is not the view of leading kidney transplant surgeon Dr. Abdul Hassan Rizvi of the Karachi-based Sindh Institute of Urology and Transplantation, or SWEET. He was the prime mover behind the 2007 law that banned organ sales. At the time, the government says about 2,000 kidneys were being sold legally to medical tourists every year. Rizvi runs a fully legal transplant hospital, performing a dozen free transplants every week.
Okay.
Earlier this month, Rizvi alleged that Adil Hospital in Lahore allowed illegal transplants to take place. He also pointed to the kidney centre in Rawalpindi. That's where indentured farmer Rab Nawaz told us he had his kidney removed for cash last year. Nawaz told us his landlord ordered him, sell your kidney or sell your children to raise the money.
There should be inquiry against these hospitals and the case should be registered, they should be tried and they should be amply punished.
Rizvi's reputation as an honest campaigner convinced the Supreme Court to investigate. The court named the two hospitals and ordered them to stop selling organs, demanding the hospitals turn over all transplant records. 2 weeks later, the court disposed of the case, accepting written assurance from both hospitals they will not break the law in the future. The Adil Hospital adding the case gave them the highest forum for the Adil Hospital's decision never to do any transplant of any organ in the future, forever. In Pakistan, transplants are supposed to be regulated by the Human Organ Transplant Authority, HOTA, set up to enforce the 2007 law banning transplant sales. But its director admits HOTA is ineffective.
There could be many reasons. One, that our team had limited access or the data is not being maintained, because this is the retrospective inquiry. At that point in time, the patient wasn't there. The patient had left, say, maybe 2 months back or 6 months back. So once the patient is not there, it is very difficult to ascertain the facts.
Good luck.
Okay.
You too. Remember the case of farmer Rab Nawaz? When he went back to the kidney centre, he says the doctors told him his medical records were destroyed as soon as he left the hospital. But the Kidney Centre says it has been vindicated by the Supreme Court that it has never indulged in illegal transplantation and have no intention of such illegal transplantation in the future. The lawyer representing the Kidney Centre threatens to take Dr. Rizvi to court for damaging our credibility by putting baseless complaint against the Kidney Centre of Rawalpindi and its boss, Dr. Mukhtar Shah. They say Dr. Rizvi never presented any evidence against them.
The complaint is being made from his rivals, business rival, and from the same person from the suite, who themselves are just taking the maximum number of transplants. So it is a business rivalry.
But does this defence hold water? Dr. Rizvi's hospital, Suite, doesn't make money performing transplant surgeries for free. The World Health Organization holds Dr. Rizvi in high regard, and the most serious legal challenge to the law banning paid transplants came from none other than Dr. Mukhtar Shah at the Kidney Centre, who repeatedly and unsuccessfully tried to have the law overturned in Islamic courts. Now, Dr. Rizvi says the government must get tougher. The oversight body HOTA, he says, needs law enforcement help.
HOTA alone cannot do anything. The crime committed is against the law of the land. So it is the law enforcing agencies who should be actually pushed to take action.
It's just life there.
But even that may not be enough. Suki Johal says she could tell the hospital was trying to stay one step ahead of the law.
Why was the hospital then telling me, hush, 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 you can't mention anything, you can't talk about this, don't you dare go anywhere? It's because they want to keep it quiet. But far as I know, and this young lady who's obviously living there, she said, Suki, everybody's involved. The government's involved, the police are involved.
But she says she has no regrets. She broke the hospital rules and found her kidney donor, a 25-year-old mother of 3 who'd given birth only 6 months earlier. She says she didn't ask her why she sold her kidney, but accepted the hospital's account. She was poor, probably in debt. Suki Johal was never in doubt. She was buying her new kidney.
We had done all our research before we went, and so the fact that we were going through a hospital and we made sure with the hospital that they do pay the donors, and they said they did and everything. And regardless of that fact, we still decided we were going to give her, a substantial amount of money, a lot more than the hospital was going to give her.
Can you say how much?
We gave her, in their money, almost 70,000, and then also I still have money there that the young lady that's still living there. What I'm trying to do basically is trying to have her send her kids to school, and we're trying to find a school that's nearest to them.
She says she paid the hospital about $50,000 for the operation, and so far about $1,200 to her donor. For many Pakistani families living in poverty, a fortune. But nothing, she says, compared with her chance at a new life. Nick Robertson, CNN, Rawalpindi, Pakistan.